Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of July 23rd. Last week was a very intense week in the cosmic skies. There was a lot of watery energy, and this watery energy may have left us feeling highly emotional, just very sensitive to the world around us. We may have also been dealing with themes around our relationships, our self-worth, money, how the three of them are kind of all intertwined. We very much may have felt this sense of our values needing to shift and change, and maybe where we've been holding our worth needing to shift and change. And that might have manifested and come out in our relationship with others, in our relationship with money, and even in the relationship that we have with ourselves. So there was just a lot of heightened, strong energy last week. So if you were feeling all over the place, if you're feeling in need of a good, recharge and rest this week, you were not alone. The energies were very, very intense, and we are only just now starting to emerge from some of that intensity. As we move through the week, everything is kind of settling. The dust is kind of settling. Whatever intensities you were experiencing are going to slowly start to come down. However, if something did come up for you last week that was intense, that was uncomfortable, that was maybe some conflict or some deep feelings that have now risen up to the surface, even this week as we start to get more comfortable, more settled, maybe a little more accepting of whatever's coming up for us, it's likely that these themes, these issues, these conflicts may come back around at a later time. And so that's not to scare you, but it's just to perhaps bring some acceptance, bring some acknowledgement that this is whatever we're experiencing now is not the end of the story. There's a journey to go on. And through this journey, you will find yourself guided to a greater and higher love. Through this journey, you will find yourself at a destination that is more aligned, more in tune with the nature of your soul and your highest self. So yes, while it may be to hear that whatever is going on for you is not the end, know that there is a journey, there is a process to this, and you will come out the other side with more love in your heart and more alignment in your life. So it's a happy ending. There's just a little bit of wading through to get there. So this energy, as I mentioned, all that was brewing last week, all that was brewing around our hearts, our relationships, our sensitivities, all of that will have a chance to kind of be integrated, settled. We may be feeling a little out of sorts still, but there are no big new energies expected. We're kind of just dealing with the ramifications of last week, the energetic ramifications of last week. This is a very good week to focus on healing, to focus on bringing yourself into a state of balance on a mind, body, and soul level. On July 23rd, we have Chiron stationing retrograde. Chiron is an asteroid. It's known as the wounded healer. And Chiron, when it goes retrograde, is really helping us to go back to old wounds, to old traumas and past hurts, and to see what wisdom, what power, what strength, what teachings can we source from them. And it's very gentle work. It's a little bit more subtle work than, say, the Venus retrograde work that we're doing at the moment. Venus retrograde will really dominate the airways for a while. Venus will stay retrograde until September 3rd or 4th, depending on your time zone. But this Chiron retrograde, which lasts all the way until December, is a little more of a subtle energy, helping us to find our power, to find our strength, to find our healing abilities, not just for ourselves, but also for others. So if you have had something difficult come up and you are feeling in the throes of emotion, maybe channel a little bit of this wounded healer energy. How can I take these wounds, bring acceptance to them, and then allow them to teach me, allow them to guide me to a new destination, to a new way of understanding, to a new way of being. That was Chiron's journey. If you want to know more about Chiron's journey, he was abandoned at birth and unloved, unwanted, and it was those wounds, the wound of abandonment, the wound of being unloved, the wound of not being wanted, that allowed Chiron to take this journey. And through this journey of being unloved and unwanted, he rose up into a powerful teacher, psychic, and healer for himself, but also for other people. And that's the journey of Chiron. And that journey, there will be elements of that that will resonate with you, particularly with Chiron in retrograde. And you can take elements of that story and see how it might resonate or apply to your life. See how you can kind of weave it through, or where it's mirroring things that are going on for you. So that is the energy for the week. We have an increasing amount of retrograde planets. Venus, as I mentioned, is in retrograde, Chiron, and a couple of outer planets. By the time we get to the end of August, we will have 6 planets in retrograde. That is a lot of retrograde activity. So whenever that happens, we get a slowing effect. Things can feel a little bit sluggish. We maybe feel like we're moving in circles rather than moving forward. But it's a wonderful time of reflection. And I'm going to leave you with this for the week, especially as we're moving into all this retrograde energy and all of the energy that's been going on. I was reading a quote, and the quote was about being aimless. And we tend to think of aimless in a negative way. And this quote in Buddhist teaching was saying, actually, it's very powerful to be aimless. When we have an aim in life, we are always running, we're always chasing, we're always wanting. But when we don't have an aim, when we are aimless, we are able to bring ourselves back to the present, back to this moment, which is here and now. We're able to bring ourselves out of that mindset of chasing and become more in our inner power and more in a place where we can receive rather than chasing and trying to have an aim and trying to do things. We step into a place of aimlessness so we can receive, so we can be present, so we can just be and harness the power within. And I think that so perfectly encapsulates what the universe is trying to get us to do or guide us, the place that we're guided to go when we have this strong retrograde cosmic energy that we have right now. Our society doesn't teach us to be aimless. We always want to have an aim. We're always told. We always want to have a drive and a purpose and be productive. But actually, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay to be aimless, to not be productive. Maybe not being productive is the new way to productivity. Sit with that. See how it resonates. See if you can make room, just even in a small way this week, to be a little aimless. I hope you found that helpful. I'm Tanaaz from Forever Conscious. You can find more and more on the Chiron retrograde, more on the Venus retrograde, even forecasts for the whole month. You can find that up at foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.